is 4 o'clock. Is my mic back? Yes, it's back. That's funny. Cord must have got caught on something. We'll see if someone joins us for a more abbreviated. There we go. And David's in there, and Glenn's in there. And we'll give it a couple minutes here to start winding itself up. And Susan's in there. She's in Illinois, which is far cooler than here. And then we have Jill and KJ7. This will be an abbreviated, and you will understand. My phone will ring. And when my phone rings, I will answer it. Then I will be getting off the phone because that will be my air conditioning guy coming to fix my air conditioning. Yeah, I've been waiting since yesterday. So, but on the other side, it made me spend most of my day this afternoon outside. So it will be fixed here, hopefully in the next hour or so. Yeah, I was hoping he would be here yesterday, and they couldn't get anybody dispatched, and then it seemed to take all day today. But hey, it's only 110. Feels like 114, so it's okay. Hey, they used to deal with it, right? Internet spotty at best. Well, there you go. See, so somebody's always got it worse. So now we have it's a plan. So it's the unit's not that old, and well, I said how I'm doing. The AC's gonna be repaired here, so I'll be doing really fine tonight. But yeah, I mean, people have it a lot worse. So there's a roof over your head, and there's fans that work. I turned the fan off in here, so and the house is still it's far cooler than outside. So you can't sit there. I wouldn't be, it's very tolerable. So, but there went our cool weather. Of course, this is how things happen. It got down in the 80s and low 90s. The nights were in the 60s, and then it decided to do us a number. So next week it starts dropping. I think tomorrow's supposed to be the highest temperature of the week. It's supposed to be up about 115 maybe, and then it's supposed to start to drop back down, and then it should just be done. But we always have that kind of that false fall thing comes in. It just kind of makes you feel like and then it just comes back, and it just really slaps you hard. So but when the phone call comes, when the phone rings and the air conditioning guy calls, I will answer the phone. And then I will say my goodbyes when he lets me know he'll be here, and because I will be dealing with him to get the air conditioning fixed. So I was hoping he would be here and be gone by the time we did this. So, but there you go. So trees down with power lines up. Yeah, it's a hurricane. It's going to be always nasty. I know the company I work for sent a lot of crews out to Puerto Rico when that happened there. They probably will send people again because they need to get the lines back up. And they'll have crews that ship out of here because they all the companies do that. So it's they'll send the linemen and the trouble men and everybody out of here. Hey, you made it to alive. The one that'll end early. Yeah, and so the people being affected by the storm. We are 28 days out from the rendezvous, so it's hard to believe, but 28 days will be the rendezvous. Hopefully next week I'm hoping in the next week or so I'll start posting to social media, to Facebook and different places concerning the date and stuff. I'm hoping to have all confirmation of pretty much our speakers here in the next week. I think I got 4 or 5 kind of things set out of the 8 or 9, and it'll be a lot of people speaking for maybe 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then it'll move on to the next person. So it'll be a nice Saturday night program. I kind of prefer it. I like it to move. It's easier for everybody else. We're setting things up, and we're also should be announcing Sunsets, the release, which will probably be the rendezvous date for the official release. We'll have it set up to go out onto Amazon, iTunes, or wherever you can download it. And at the rendezvous, we're hoping the shipment will be in for the physical DVD Blu-ray. So if you want a physical one that you can hold in your hand and smile at, there. So that'll be kind of all coming up and in. We thought about, because it's the 20th, I want to have a little different program, but if it was a normal 19th or the 21st, we probably would have just run Sunsets. Kind of did a little talking early on and stuff, and then just ran Sunsets for the whole program so everybody could watch it in the amphitheater. But maybe we'll do that next year. But we will have the DVD Blu-rays available there, and they will be priced very cheap for the event. So anybody who wants one, and that's up to Trevor. But yeah, that all went off, got sent off. So we're waiting for them to go through it and set up, and then get everything shipped back. So that's done finally, and now it's kind of waiting on someone else to take forever, right? So hopefully all that's done. But I told Trevor, assure me that you could have the downloads up and that stuff, so if people want to get it off other services, to whether to buy or rent for whatever that cost is. And he said, yeah, he could do that. So Sunsets will be finished up and all. Well, it is finished up, and that'll be. How many people are you expecting? I don't know. We never know. We've had 75 to 100 every year for Saturday nights. It usually is somewhere between 100 and 150. I know one year we had close to 300 people in the camp. And that was because Tom Collenborn wrote in his newspaper articles concerning the rendezvous. I used to put up posters in town, and then once we were getting over 200, it was getting a little too much and a little uncomfortable, because it was just Randy and myself. Now, more people kind of help behind the scenes now, so it's a little easier. But there was a difficulty, and then with a lot of the Dutch hunters early on, they preferred it to be people they kind of knew. So families and people, they were nice to the families, but there was people that came in, and it was less sitting around talking about the old days and more of trying to answer questions for people. And so we kind of backed it down. Plus, there was a little problem with space, because we were generally using the lower camp. Now people are using the upper camp more and more, and you can breathe easier. Because, yeah, if you're in the lower camp, yeah, that was a lot of people to be camping and trying to stay, and then the vehicles come in for Saturday nights. So I figure you can put a number out there. You never know what it's going to be. We're going to do it in the amphitheater regardless, because I like the openness. Because it will probably be a little warmer, but then because of the noise problems and being able to hear people, I think the amphitheater is a much better place to do it. So we will do it in the open air at the amphitheater this year. So that should be better for everybody. Bring a chair, bring a cushion, whatever, and sit in the amphitheater. So that will be that. And like I said, there could be 8 or 9 people speaking, and they'll be broken up. It's different things. This will be the 133rd anniversary of Jacob Waltz's death. I don't know what that is and how old he would be, 200 and something. But yeah, it'll be the 26th when the guest speakers are out, be the day after. When we meet up Friday night, that'll be the anniversary of his death. It kind of seemed fitting to fit it all like that. So there you go. You heard about John Collins Black recently? No. I haven't heard about him, don't know nothing about him. Looking forward. My friend is coming from South Africa, myself from Cornwall. Yeah, very cool. Look forward to everybody. We're excited to go again. Well, we're excited to see you. Yeah, I figure, you're coming back and you're getting more into coming out to the Superstitions. You would have substituted the Camaro with something like a Bronco or a Blazer or something. But hey, they love to pull us over. Well, what color? I don't remember what color the Camaro is. That could be part of the problem too. I wish you still did this. We didn't ever do the stage shows. That was the Dons of Arizona. Did the stage shows. You will see something this year a little leaning towards Trek and kind of a little bit towards the Rendezvous. It'll be kind of a mix. We're trying to kind of coordinate that a little and thinking because the 100th anniversary of the Dons is coming up in a number of years and the 100th anniversary of Trek. So, and remember, the Rendezvous was always, Larry Hedrick said on another video channel that the Rendezvous had something to do with the Mountain Man Rendezvous of Bob Ward. It had nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. It was because of Ron Feldman's Lost Dutchman Mind Forum. Joe Roboto and a bunch of guys wanted to go camping, and the get-together they had was called the Dutch Hunter Rendezvous. And they got together and decided, let's just keep doing it every year, long as we can. So it was basically its own whole separate thing about Dutch hunters, not mountain men. And the confusion was because you had a number of people that went to the Mountain Man Rendezvous, like Rick Gwynn and Tom Collenborn and people. They had been to this one, and I think it got a little confused. So it had nothing to do with that. It was not inspired. In fact, it was inspired by Joe Roboto's family actually getting together and having cookouts and stuff together in the Superstitions and the Lost Dutchman and stuff. And that was kind of Joe's kind of thing of he remembered that was such a great time having beers and stuff and sitting around talking and trading stories. And that was kind of more of how the Rendezvous started. And then, of course, Joe said after the first couple of years, Randy and I were running things, and Joe said, can you get it to 10 before he passed away? And got it to 10. I told Joe I'll get it to 10, and then I'll try to pass it off to somebody. And because Randy was less and less involved, having a family and starting a family. And then I started bringing my kids. But, here we are 20 years later, so I hope Joe's pretty happy with that. I hope it did well to him. We didn't always see eye to eye on things and everything, but I think we kind of pulled it off. I mean, I wouldn't have thought we could have made it to 20 years. And now I'm thinking, well, we'll probably be able to somehow flip it to 25. So, and that'll be another big deal. If we weren't dealing with all the drama of the election and the drama of the fire restrictions and everything else, I really wanted to have some ground displays, kind of like Trek. Nothing big, but something minor, just to kind of celebrate that. And but I'm not going to even attempt that. Our guests, there will be search and rescue, and there will be Tonto National Forest, which would not go down with them if I lit off fireworks. But no, they're going to come out and talk about some of the restrictions, the closures, and the other problems. Of course, Fish Creek Hill's open. So like I said, it's going to be a good overview of a lot of things for interest in for people in the mountains for the coming year. So it will be. And like I said, we'll get more and more of it. The stage shows. I can still put my tent above the amphitheater back behind the top steps. Yeah, you can do it. That upper lot has got plenty of space. So go out there, and if you need to remove a little brush and throw it over the fence, do that too, because clearing the area is good too. But yeah, the camp survived. So Dallas, you're more than welcome to be up there. A little better breeze up there sometimes. See, I don't like being up there because of that. If it gets breezy, you catch the breeze so much more coming flat across there. I like to be down in the lower camp, but that's cool, Dallas. Firewood and water, food check. Taking the Friday off, can't wait. There you go. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah. I don't know. Frank, Woody, and I have some plans for tomorrow. So Woody made these plans. It's supposed to be 115. Frank and I both believe Woody is insane, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, but some of it's coordinating concerning the rendezvous, so it's kind of more of a get together and have lunch kind of thing, and get some things, other things sorted out. There's always, remember, there's still business that has to be done. So, but like I said, Sunsets will be out by the rendezvous. That should be the official release date, and so all that stuff in there. And like I said, some of the program will be interesting to people. It'll be different. So I'm hoping that everything falls into place. And if everything does that I'm hoping for, I think people will like it because it will remind them a little of the bounce of Trek with a variety of things all interrelated to the superstitions. So that should be the cool thing. Man, this AC guy's not calling. What's up? I hate to leave you guys, but yeah, my AC's, I'm waiting on the repairman, and I'm like, I figure I'll do live for 15 minutes, and then he's going to call, and I'm going to have to break off to let him through, watch the dogs, and he's not calling. I wish he'd call. So it is very warm. Hopefully that temperature takes a drop. It's warm enough. Frank told me I was done with the pool for the year, and today I was swimming again, so I'm back in the pool. So it feels cooler because of that cool weather we had, but it was refreshing today. Did Trevor get any special 20th shirt ordered? He was trying to, and then we decided to place it up where people could order it because of inventory problems, because we were dealing, and I'll see what he has, and I'll talk to him tonight. He'll be in late tonight, and then tomorrow he's out working. We'll talk Sunday. We were trying to coordinate a couple things, and I was talking to him too, but I told him I didn't want a lot of inventory. I told him I just was not wanting stuff laying around. I said, if we get stuff and we don't know, and Joe Roboto tried it once and he got stuck with stuff. Randy did it once and he got stuck with stuff, whether it was coffee cups, shirts, and different things. And I told Trevor I'd never want to revisit that. I checked with some vendors, hoping someone would have something that would be cheap enough that I could get 10 or 15 of each size of 4 or 5 sizes and kind of keep the price point down, and then just kind of sell them at cost to get, kind of move them fast. And then everybody was expensive. I don't know if it's just the economy, but everybody came up and for at least a decent quality shirt. Now, I understand the shirts we sell are pretty thick and better quality than a lot of shirts. They're not thin, cheap shirts. But, yeah, I was surprised how much they were. And I was like, Trevor just got an order of, what was it? Was it 25, 30 shirts? And they were polos, but they were super nice. And I looked at them, and he got them embroidered. And I said, well, how much are those? And it was $900. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Getting stuck with that patch. The AC comes first. Oh, yeah. No, the AC comes first. Yeah, so going out early morning, the Hewitt Canyon, Sterling 5. I would prefer not to be going anywhere the next couple of days till the temperature drops. And that's the difference between having to be out and walking around and be out physically in it. I can do it, but that's what I'm doing. And then I am so over it. Like, I don't really want to go out and mess around. If it wasn't Woody and Frank, I would not be leaving the house tomorrow. I would basically stay inside if the AC is working fine. And if I went outside, it would just be to walk down into the pool. Other than that, I'd be over it. And I am kind of over it. It's just too hot. Sorry, I can't clear my throat. Should have got iced tea. Anything that's got sugar or thick or syrup in it is not good when it's hot. Gets your throat. I heard that Bob Ward shot someone at the Mountain Man Rendezvous. I'm sure he shot people. Well, he shot people randomly all the time. So, not as frequently as you would think, but more frequently than should have been ethical. Yeah, I know at least 3 or 4 different times he shot somebody. The one guy he shot and said, okay, let's take him to the hospital after he shot him. Which I'm thinking, well, why bother shooting him in the first place? But I know there's 3 or 4 people still around from those days. Sal's still around, so I don't know who else is around. I know one person. He doesn't like his name mentioned. But I don't know. I've got pictures of different ones because Tom Collenborn, Rick Gwynn, a bunch of the guys are no longer around. So it would be interesting. Sal's one of the people I do know that was there, but Sal's gets kind of dodgy about who was there, what happened. I get here late. It's time to drink to Bob Ward. Oh, okay, Bobby. Well, we'll have a drink to Bobby. And safe travels to Arizona. I'm late. I know that's what she said. Well, okay. Wayne. Okay, so anyways, I may abruptly be leaving here. I'm watching my phone because my AC repairman is on his way. I called this in yesterday morning. I've been waiting. So, as soon as he calls and I know he's almost here, I got to deal with the dogs and stuff and deal with the AC. It is 110. Feels like 114. Think the world of you guys. Always have fun doing this. But I'm hoping today gets cut real short. It's actually taking longer than I thought because they called me just before we started and said they told me it'd be within 15 to 30 minutes, and they've pulled almost their 30 minutes. So I'm taking. You got me for a little longer. I'll do this and then say my goodbye as soon as I hear from them. Flying in. I see that, Bobby. He'll be flying in like a bird. So, but yeah, Rendezvous, kind of running through that stuff. Thanks everybody for watching the Chasing Legends. I think I'm trying to check the phone here to check the dates, but I do believe we have one more normal Chasing Legends, what we call normal, and then we'll be into 4 weeks. We'll have 4 weeks of our spooky, the Halloween, October kind of Chasing Legends stories that I got myself into a couple of years ago. By the way, I think we're finishing up our 5th year of doing this, 5th year of consecutively every Monday having new content. Not repeating, not putting out stuff with people in it that aren't even alive anymore. No, we have been putting out, we've done part 1s and part 2s, but we've never been repetitive of doing the same video. I won't even do another one, how to get to the rendezvous or something. We did one. I tell people to reference that. But, yes, it's been new content for this many years every week. So, I'm over it. But, yeah. So, we got this Monday coming up, and then we have already 2 or 3 of the 4 for October already in place. So, we should have all 4 for October, and then we will get everything set to go. And tell the AC guy to bring pizza. No, I want the AC guy to just show up. Just want him to show up. I don't care what he brings. Just bring his tools. Hewitt Canyon, is the trail nice, do you know? Hewitt Canyon's nice. I mean, this time of year I wouldn't want to be up in there. It's hot. I'm going through Hewitt as well, Robert. 61 here. Well, who cares? It's 61 in Illinois. It was like 75 in L.A. It's like it's not here. I don't know why everybody can be so much cooler than here. And it's like, my God, it's like the focal point of hell here. So it's been hot. And like I said, it got down into the 80s. And then the nights were in the 60s. And I thought, man, we're going to finally have a little bit of a fall. Hopefully it'll be a nice winter. And then it came back hard. So, Spider, did you laugh at the Bobby story? You did tell a funny. It was not funny then. I think you could tell because I was having that kind of weird thing of it. It's funny, and I'm trying to tell the story kind of as an anecdote, but there was a lot of pain inside. Because you can, if you've ever been around someone that literally got in that kind of, because they sweat and everything that happens is just, and then he festered himself slaying in that sleeping bag. Everyone's been around that stinky dude, and when it's an annoying stinky dude that just, it was, like I said, it was just absolutely just, it was kind of like something dead on the side of the road in the heat of the sun out, laying there, and it's kind of like got walls around it and you can't escape this. It was like, it was terrible. So I can remember it because it was like something died in Bobby. I have no idea kind of what happened to any of those guys. So you wish them well, but yeah, that was, you can remember it and it's just tough. Oh, rain. Great. Good for you. Too much concrete, remember. It's not the concrete necessarily. The good old days. The good old days when it was 105, 110 and it was hot and we laid under trees out in the front during the summer as kids. And we just were like just dying and turning on the hose on ourselves. Because nobody had pools at first. That was the hardest part, is when we just ran around in the sprinklers. Not the ones that come up in the yard, but we'd put those ones hooked to the hose and just sit out in those all the time. Because when I was a kid, during the summer, you were told to go outside. And that was rough because it was so hot. But yeah, all the summers we just spent outside. And that's what we were told to do, is go outside, and then you come in for meals, and then you went out after dinner. And the coolest part was when the sun went down, it cooled off. Now, Phoenix cooled off a lot at night back then. So the nights were great when we were running around and playing at night. I thought Bobby's story was going to be about him having diabetes. I have a feeling that may have eventually came. It rained back then. It didn't rain much back then. If you look at the historical data, it's always been hot. It's always been dry. It just is what it is. The nights were cooler. The days were hot. They were hot as hell. Hey, Jax, just open that door and just come on in. But it was always hot during the day. Don't be a Bobby, unless you're a Bobby. But don't be like Bobby. But it was always hot. It's just the evenings were cooler because everything released. It wasn't as much concrete and asphalt. When I grew up, 43rd Avenue, anybody that knows Phoenix, 43rd Avenue, which I think is 6 lanes now of asphalt, 43rd Avenue was a dirt road when I moved here. So it was like a 2-lane dirt road, and everything on the west side of 43rd Avenue were farms in Glendale, because that's the border of Glendale and Phoenix. So when you look at it that perspective, it was cool at night. The sun went down. The cooler air came in, so it wasn't as bad. The concrete and stuff retained heat and releases heat, and that became the bigger problem. That happens in the mountains too, though. If you get up in heavy rocky mountains with very little topsoil and plants and foliage, you can find at night it just feels very warm as the heat's releasing. So it just because, time, I'm trying to think of what time. Time changes things change, but it was still hot. I remember it was always hot. And we didn't have very good air conditioning in school. It was tough, man. Teachers running fans and stuff. But I remember first few weeks of school, and the last few weeks were miserable when I was in grade school, even in high school. High school, the buildings were cooler, but I showed up less frequently at that point. But in grade school, I just remember it being miserable. So definitely the fall and the spring before we got out for the summer. So there you go. Yeah, and I don't know about rain. It used to rain during the winter. Phoenix used to get rain sometimes in December a little, definitely January through March. That was our rainy season. And then we'd have the monsoon come in July and August. And now, when I first moved into Surprise, it rained every week of the year. all year because all the rainstorms coming in, winding in from Prescott would come around through Wickenburger, through Buckeye, and pass into Surprise. So it rained every week. My yard was constantly a mud pit. It always had water in it, and it was kind of rough. I was trying to build it up for drainage, and then as Surprise and El Mirage and Buckeye and Goodyear and all these areas kept building up more and more concrete, it pushes things back further. So we don't, it moves, the thunderheads start to come in, and then they kind of like hit a wall of heat, and they kind of don't come in. Now when they come in, it's just like, that's when we get a big storm because it rushes in, the hot and cold air hitting each other. We get the microburst. Candy after 30. Downtown Phoenix. We never had a swamp cooler. We never had that I know of. But yeah, Wallace and Ladmo and Gerald grew up. Pat McMahon lived down the road from us. I went to school with his son Kevin. But that was the days of Wallace and Ladmo and Canto Park. Just worked down by there today, or not today, a couple days ago I was working down by there. They got some gorgeous houses down by there and all, but that was something I was thinking of, is Wallace and Ladmo show, which is, for other people, it's kind of like Bozo. It was the local program, like Bozo, and but you had Wallace and Ladmo. Pat McMahon played about 10 different characters on it. But it was that was the traditional show for everybody growing up here in the 70s. So, and then they would come out to schools and events and stuff and all. And then we had Legend City and Big Surf, Manzanita Speedway, and just a lot of stuff. Phoenix was so different. It was a big city, a pretty decent sized city, and kept growing, but it had that small town kind of feel. Does your weather eat up guitar strings? No, because the room's usually climate controlled. So, no, it doesn't bother much, and I wipe my strings down. So, I make sure they get wiped off, just to make sure they stay clean, and then I change them. And it depends. Some guitars, the strings stay on for a while. I pick it up if it sounds a little dull. I'll put some new strings. I always have several packs of strings. And then other guitars, I play them pretty frequently, and I'm changing strings out. In fact, I'm thinking about on this master build, I'm going to change out the strings because I'm playing it and then the strings are bothering my fingers once in a while. Probably means they're just done. It's kind of weird because they shouldn't be bothering me, so I take it's that. So I'm going to try a couple different brands. I hate to switch out of what's on there because they sound so loud and so good, but we'll see. I'll try a couple different things. I'm trying to think of what I was using. I was using 16s before. I'll probably go something lighter because one of the problems, well, on acoustics, I can't use the heavier strings, obviously. I'd fucking tear them up. But, yeah, I tend to use heavier gauge strings to keep my hand strength up. But as I get older, I should kind of back off of that. I don't think I've played anything with a set of 10s or 9s or 8s in forever. So I generally get much heavier gauge strings. And while most people are not interested in that, it's like the difference between playing to me with fishing line and playing with cables. And it's well, a question about your AC. Did you check your house break? It's nothing to do with that. I know what the problem is. I just can't fix it. It's internal in the unit. So I can't do it. If it was the air handler outside or something to do with fuses, I would get it. If it was a circuit breaker or something like that, or a capacitor, I would just do that. Is Trevor? Oh, that was mean. That's just mean. You should rescind that comment because he reads through this, and yeah, that'll make him mad. No, Trevor is not gay. That is sad. And that is sad. I mean, I know he's a grown-ass man now, but I still think of him as like a 12-year-old kid. That is just so sad. See, you should, make that go away. We'll make that go away later. It's the pyramid, I tell you. It's the pyramid. I don't think it has the AC in it. But it did pick, like, as soon as it cooled down, I thought, okay, I'll get it serviced in November or December, or maybe in the spring, because I don't use the heater. I never turn on the heater. And I thought we were good to go. And then the heat came back and the AC. So that'll teach me, huh? That's a stupid... It's a mean comment. That's a cruel comment, man. You're gay. Yeah. But no. It would hurt Trevor's feelings. Why you would say that. I was on the Walson Ladmo show with my Cubs Crowd group. I was too. See, everybody was on Walson Ladmo. I didn't get a Ladmo bag. That sucks. By the time the show was about done, remember how small the Ladmo bags got when I was a kid? I remember when I first was going to school, the Ladmo bags were like big full-size grocery bags. And then they got smaller and smaller till they were like a lunch sack, which was kind of sad. Please, humans, refrain. Be kind. Bold question. That's bold? I don't think it's bold. I think it's just, it's like going up to someone and say, hey, you lost some weight. You got some cancer going on there, buddy? It's like, it's just rough. And he's not here to defend himself, and I don't know. I just have to make sure that's rescinded and gone. Because he is a bit of a sensitive one about people's perceptions of him. He works so hard at things. He did not get his dad's I could give a fuck attitude. Trevor actually will care how people think of him and so forth, and he tries to always just be super friendly and super nice to people and all. Really good kid, and yeah, it just is, that's kind of rough. So it would hurt his feelings. So like I said, I'll have to get in there and make sure I get rid of that. Because if he sees it, and I joke with him about stuff sometimes. That is the sort of thing, because, yeah, it wouldn't be joked on. So, and for the people that think I dump on him and stuff, and know that I can be somewhat poke the bear with him, yeah, this does show you as like, nah. So, stop, please. Treasure shit. Yeah, don't talk about treasure shit. Well, I will when I get a chance. I'm still waiting on a stupid AC guy. But, yeah, that'll be kind of X'd out of there because I don't want him. I don't know if he cares enough to follow this and go through comments. Sometimes he will, because he'll say, hey, did you see what so-and-so? What did you think about that? No, so he goes and reads through things. So you got to admit, we were all kind of curious. Why? Why? It's someone's personal life. I don't understand that, but okay. I've never sat there at work with a coworker and said, well, I was kind of curious. I don't understand, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe most people aren't like you. Sorry, and I won't be mean or cruel about it or anything, but yeah, I just always think just when someone's not there and asking a question indefinitely in something like this, someone who has a lot to do with making sure this whole thing runs and is aired and streams and all that. I just think that's just kind of as part of the show. He's like producer and all that. You're trying to come up. I thought he was in his mid-20s. He's in his early 20s. I don't know why you want to know anything personal about him, and I don't think anybody was curious. Personal question. I don't know. Come to the Rendezvous, and every time a pretty girl gets up with short shorts, just watch where his head swings, and that'll tell you probably everything. No, he was raised to be a very polite boy. Very nice boy, but yeah. Wayne, he's playing you. Well, excited to see you guys in OCD. I don't know. I can't see behind the speaker. So, anyways, I don't know. To see you guys in October. Okay, OCD, OCT. Close enough. Okay, but anyway, where's my AC guy? He couldn't have come in before that other comment. It's gray and tans. I thought it was good at picking up on my own kind. I'm gay and trans. I'm gray and trans. It's not a place for it, though. This is a place where it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where your religion is, your spirituality, your politics. It doesn't matter. I've always kept that thing and kind of tried to raise that bar. The moment people do that, everything gets kind of quirky and everything else. Who gives a crap? So, my brother's my brother, my sisters are my sisters. I don't describe them in any other way than, hey, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my family, that's my son. And I don't think I don't go anywhere else. So, let's see. Friday at 5 p.m. Better call them. Well, no, they're supposed to call me. They called and said they would be giving me a follow-up call. They were finishing a job. And I feel bad because it just keeps getting warmer and warmer out there. How are you? Well, we've had a funny run this afternoon. This was the one I thought, 15, 20 minutes, we'll be out of here. And now it kind of does the weird thing where I got to go back through and all this. One of my kind. My own kind. I'm sorry. My own kind. It sounds like a vampire movie all of a sudden. I'm sorry. I don't want to make fun of stuff like that because that's not right and stuff. Yeah, whatever. So we'll just move on by that. And, yes, Jax. Yes. Jax is a good boy. Enjoying himself. Too hot for the rendezvous for you this year, too, buddy. It's been a weird ass day. Just when you thought it was safe to get your AC repaired, yeah. It is kind of throwing me because the longer, then that guy's coming like, it got kind of late, we'll have to come tomorrow. And I'm just like, oh. Yeah, we're looking forward to see you, Bobby, at the rendezvous, man. It's been a year. So, a lot of times that's when all of us get to actually see each other and sit around. So, but on Friday, but yeah, I think we got a lot to kind of do there and a lot going on there. So we'll see, and a lot of people show up, and everybody that's kind of the whole purpose of it, was for everybody just to be able to get together, and if nothing else, just hang out. Like Joe Roboto said, and Greg Davis even mentioned once, if it's just me, you, and Randy, nobody else shows up, nobody cares, we'll just sit on the side of the road, have a campfire, and just talk. And that's kind of cool, the whole thought process. The rendezvous is going to happen whether anybody shows up or not. So if just 5 of us showed up, it's still the rendezvous. That's kind of cool. Wilcox, Arizona. Not wild. Coachy Stronghold. You ever hiking those hills? We were just out there with Greg Davis when was it? I talked about it. I think it was last spring, wasn't it? Greg Davis, me, and Trevor were out there. Trying to think. Greg had said he hadn't been to Cochise Stronghold since he was a young kid in his dad's car with, I think, his mom, dad, and his grandma or aunt or someone. Anyways, and I was like, you want to go back and visit it again? So we drove all the way down there. We were out there for other things, checking out some other stuff. But we drove down and walked around. So I didn't hike much in it. I did do some walking around to take it in. It's very pretty there. That is a pretty campground and a pretty area. So we were down there, a lot of deer. But yes, we did spend time at Cochise Stronghold. So we kind of introduced, I think we posted some pictures of it. I would say that's the one where it was funny. Greg Davis took a series of pictures. I said, get a picture of me and Trevor in front of the sign. Okay. And he goes over and he takes a picture. When we get the pictures and the video footage back, it's of our feet. Oh. If you build it, people will come. Yeah.
Another friend coming out with us. There you go. And we'll be there off road in the Camaro without questioning people's sexual preference. Yeah, you never know. Some people might want to eat people. So the tube, where is that located and what wash? There's tubes in different places, so I don't know the context of the reference. Oh yeah, me and Trevor are total fruity booties. Okay, that's nice that you created an actual YouTube name. Wow. Why would you do that? Because I am such, I know everybody knows me as a really nice person, but I am such a mean, vindictive, tie you upside down in a tree, slit your forehead, and let you slowly drain into a fire kind of guy. Why would you do that? Because the internet's not even safe. People are fucked up. All right, let's continue on as we have our trolls. 5 dudes in the mountains with chill and a bottle of Fireball. What could go wrong? Usually not much goes wrong. So everybody's worried about everybody else, and that kind of is the weird part of it all. Is when you're sitting in a camp of people that may have killed people or helped hide bodies, you tend to behave yourself because you realize how many people know where to put things. I mean, yeah, I think we've joked about it at fires before. It's just like, if we need to get rid of somebody, there's plenty of people that know some good spots still, and it's just kind of like, the way it is. So, but yeah, there's been a few stories we've told around the fire. A few people have kind of like, you notice the guys that might have, let's be nice, have killed someone, always act like they were there and really didn't, they just kind of observed at a distance. That generally means, you were far more involved, because generally when things like that go south, everyone somehow becomes more involved to cover everybody else. Bob Corbin used to come out to the Rendezvous and used to come out and talk and stuff. Bob hasn't been there for a while. He comes out to the Treasure Hunter of the Year awards still in March. So yeah, I've met Bob many, many times. I have his phone number in my telephone. So I've talked to Bob many, many times. So Bob's a pretty cool guy. Getting up there in years, he's got to be in his mid-90s, 95, 96 now. But yeah, I've known Bob for quite a long time. And he used to always regularly come out. He brought Linda Peralta from up from Mexico with him one year. So yeah, he used to come out, and we used to have the guest speakers on Fridays, and then Bob would come out, and then on Saturday, Bob would talk to the crowd about his the trials and everything with Crazy Jake or Celeste Jones and stuff. So Bob used to sit around the camp with her. It was very strange because you would see guys didn't have a pot to piss in, guys that were kind of struggling with their families and stuff, and Dutch hunters, people that never had much, and then you would see very successful, powerful men, and they were all friends and sitting around a fire, and nobody wanted help from anybody else, and they would sit around and just share and be cool. Oh, okay, let's see if this is it. Hello? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it still appears to work. Yeah, so. Huh. How many minutes? Okay, well, I'll be here waiting for you. Thank you. Bye. All right, we're almost done, so we will be finishing up. Any idea who added the video on the
Yeah, there's a lot of different versions of that and different versions of the maps and stuff. Let's not say the copies and there's real copies and there's a bloodstained copy. I don't know why it would have been bloodstained if it was in his notebook and this and that, and the notebook was a bloodstained. And I think there was a lot of strange stuff. I think that's probably them confirming that they'll be here. Oh, yeah. Oh, they send you a picture of the tech so you know who there is. Okay. Anyway, so my tech's on his way. We were talking Bob Corbin. Are we the right crew? We have swamp covered. Any clear idea? The Ruth, no. Yeah, I never, I don't know. I was just casually in the neighborhood and guys are a hoot. I don't know. I'm hoping Bowman, I don't think Bowman will be out this year. He's been here one time that I know of. Blow up a giant-sized picture of him, put it at the front gate. I wouldn't do that to embarrass the guy. Long way to too much fun. Oops, wrong name. Ignore me. Thanks, Wayne. Go get it done. Good show. Yeah. All right. So we will be wrapping up here in a minute. Yeah, the Ruth note and all that. There's so many different, Jack Sanfelice was over with the Barclays and going through their stuff, and in a book found something folded up, and so just like you shove stuff in different things. And Jack found this thing, and he'd make a copy of it, and then it became Frank said, "Oh, it must be the original map." I don't think so, because the map they actually described they found on him was a topographical map with all kind of writing on it. That would have been the map they would have kept, because it showed where he was searching and all the clues and directions from the other maps. So, why the stupid profile map, which probably wasn't even his map, who knows. Anyhow, and the Veni Vidi Vici note and all that, there's been like 3 or 4. I always find it kind of odd, these things cropped up, and there were a lot of people, and I won't use the word I use for it. We'll talk about it in the Rendezvous openly, but we will call in the clean, ethical version of tomfoolery. There's so many people that fake so much crap. And it's like, okay, so how many versions of the note are there? And, this one's missing this. Well, is it because someone was making it up and left the word out? So there's so little and there are pictures of when they recovered the body, and there's a lot more information. Like I said, there's a lot of information about Adolf Ruth that is never talked about because it ruins the story or the narrative for a lot of people. So let's just say along the line of, his skull was found when they brought it in. A couple dentists and doctors in town looked at it, and they were able to do forensic analysis on the skull. And those people saw it as well before it was sent away. And then when the other remains came in, the people who looked at that. And they don't tell you that those people felt that that was not a gunshot wound. There was intruding wounds in 2 places in the skulls, which looked like animals or something. The skull had broke in and so forth. So you get that perspective, but let's not put that in the story because it ruins the whole motif of murder and, Abe Reed packing around Adolf Ruth's headless body. Why? And that's dumb too. And what was it? The one thing this guy, I think it was Ted Cox, says, yeah, it looked like Adolf Ruth's headless body wrapped in a blanket. Okay, why would he take the fucking head off? Why wouldn't he just leave the head on and then dump the body? And it was bones, so why would it even look like a body? It would be a bag of bones. But yeah, everything about it is stupid. The whole murder conspiracy is so dumb. You give me an 80-some-odd-year-old man in the heat of the summer in the mountains with a little thermos of water who's handicapped and crippled up and is not used to the heat. And we'll run him around for a day or so, and we'll see how long he lasts. So, yeah, pretty much I have a feeling heat stroke, all that happens. So, and we can talk about it plenty over the Rendezvous and other times. Good luck with the AC. Yep, the first time. I live in Arizona as well. Cool. Looking forward to seeing you there. Thanks. Can't see who it is. Ed. You
you are one cool character when our folks want to trek with you.
Yeah, but look what happens, man. They go out in the mountains, they get stuck by teddy bear choyas, they flip over, and they get diarrhea, and then they get assaulted. So, it's best not to mess with people. It's best not to mess with people. Why do you want to mess with people? See, you can watch television and see all the bad things that happen to people, and you go like, "Oh, trolling and stuff." Okay, yeah, whatever. You know, and that's the weird thing too with trolling and people that say stuff and try to be messed up, like today a little bit. But some of it, they're just doing it to be funny. And for me, to personally looking at it, is like, why are you doing that? Because we're in this whole thing now where people are not supposed to bully and this stuff and physically, but these are the people that are just a bunch of sad fucks sitting on couches somewhere or clicking things that just need someone to walk up to them and punch them in the mouth really hard and teach them a lesson and say, because we all got punched in the mouth, we all learn to get ourselves back up and realize, oh, you don't say stupid shit because you get punched in the mouth. If you don't mind getting punched in the mouth, then you were fine with getting hit again. But that was always a problem on that, is like, I told Trevor and Tyler when they first got into school, I said, I don't care if you get in a fight, if there's a good reason and you take a swing. It is what it is. Don't let someone push you around too much, because once they do that, they get false sense of courage and so forth, and they will always do it to not only you but others too. They will always try to find a way to find victims. The best way to stop that victimization is sometimes just a good old frickin' just nail them right in the mouth.
There you go. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Spare pants. Yes, a pair of sweatpants. Oversized sweatpants, so you can help anybody. Have a great weekend, everybody. See many of you in 4 weeks. Thank you. Good luck with the AC. All my habits are expensive. Bobby is the reason why you never trust Fart. Older brothers, so there you go. I had 2 older brothers, so there you go. And Naples, Florida, check in. Well, Naples, Florida, we're getting out of here. I'm going to get off of here so I can deal with my AC guy here shortly as he pulls up. I'm watching out the window. He should be a few more minutes, but I want to get that. I got to deal with the dogs and all that stuff. So just letting you sit here and stare at an empty room. And Jax won't sit in the chair, and Jax doesn't speak English, so he wouldn't be able to handle things. But we made it almost an hour, so I don't think it wasn't a big loss. Strange night, strange evening, strange day. So whatever, we'll clean that up and stuff, and hopefully people, that's the first time we've really ever had that. Play that damn guitar. Catch you. Okay, well, on next Friday I'll play the guitar. Yeah, that got thrown off because of this, because I was dealing with this right up to when we just jumped in. But next week I promise I'll bring the guitar back in. But yeah, all these lives, 6-7 years of this stuff, and that's the first time we've kind of had the troll, which will return. We can be almost self-assured he'll come up with new names and stuff and get rid of them. The coward. Oh well. But we will live on, and we will move on, and we will have pizza and hopefully cold air conditioning tonight. Thank you, everybody. Catch again, Chasing Legends on Monday. Should be our last one before we move into the October spooky, the spooky fingers, thing. But we should run into those for October, and then we will be bopping out of those back into the normal November routine and stuff, and have a bunch of cool stuff. But until we catch you later, everybody have a great rest of the week, great weekend. Hopefully everywhere else it sounds like the weather's great. So hopefully we survive our last big meltdown for the summer, and by the time we talk next week, the weather's starting to come down and everything's getting better. So everyone have a great time as I look for a mouse, and enjoy yourselves, and look forward to see you next week. Catch Chasing Legends, set up for the rendezvous, look for other things. Sunsets come out for October 25th, 2024. So we'll have that out and everything else. So everybody, have a great weekend. Have a great week. We'll catch you the next